Tyson, are you in training camp already and you expect to have a press conference to fight Dillian Whyte very soon?
I'm not in training camp, so to say, Gareth, aka Russell Crowe. Although I train every single day, you know that, I always keep fit and stay healthy. I am expecting an announcement in the next couple of days that Dillian Whyte signed the contract or not.
And what are you going to do to him when you meet in the ring? Do you think he'll be in London?
What am I going to do to him? What do you think, Gareth? You know, it's going to be ferocious anyway. Yeah, I'm going to... It's been a long time coming. Me and Dillian Whyte go back a long time. He used to be my sparring partner back in 2012, right the way through to like 13, 14. We know each other pretty well. And he's had a lot to say over the years, and he's had a lot to say in the last 6 months that I wasn't going to fight him and that I'm a coward and I was going to fight somebody else instead. But now the fight's been put on his toes, he's gone absolutely silent. And who's the coward now? He's running around with his white feathers showing.
Thank you. David?
Is that it? No. There'll be more.
Tyson, this talk it could be Wembley, maybe on St George's Day, April 23rd, and it could even be a record crowd for fighting very close to a record crowd. Would that sort of confirm your status as like the people's champion? You could sort of set that record.
I've not been told about the venue or the accurate date yet. I think that news is to follow pretty soon. I think Frank and Bob are working pretty hard behind the scenes to get a massive venue nailed down and an absolute brilliant date. But I will say it's been a long time. How long has it been, Steve? 4 years since I boxed in the UK?
Yeah, long time. 4 years.
So, you ever heard the song Thin LIzzy, the boys are back in town? We're back in town, and I'm happy to be home, and I'm happy to put on a show for everybody, and it's going to be the biggest event. I believe it'll be the biggest sporting event in boxing that this country's ever seen, for sure.
If I can ask you a diet sort of nutrition related question, not too dissimilar to the drinks related side of things.
Yeah.
You've been working with George Lockhart, he's helped you kind of clean up your diet. Despite the work that George has done with you, are there any foods you just can't live without in your diet?
While I have George here, he cooks for me every day. So I don't really eat anything that he doesn't cook me. I don't feel hungry, I don't have an hankering for anything, I don't have any wants. So I just try and eat what George cooks me and try and eat clean. And there's been a long period in my life now where I've been doing like that, living like that. Since about 2018, I've been living sensible and eating the right stuff. So, and it's much healthier and I have a much better mindset through it all. I believe there's a lot of connection between eating your own foods and mental health problems. And I believe if you eat the right foods and you eat clean and you stay healthy, then you have a better mental health, better life.
Would you put fast food then up there with the vices like gambling and alcohol and things like that?
Listen, fast food, eating the wrong food is the biggest cause of like heart disease in the world. So, you know, I'm all for eating healthy and eating a healthy life for sure. Don't get me wrong, I've had my fair share of rubbish in my life and I've had everything that there's ever been. And there's been no secrets that I've had plenty of takeaways and drunk plenty of beers in my past. But I try and live sensibly, try and live clean these days, and do the right things, especially now I'm what they like to call me an athlete. So yeah, I try and do my best I can and stay clean with the food. But George, without George, it's pretty difficult. Especially when you've got 6 kids in the house and you go out for a meal and they're leaving the chicken nuggets and that's usually tend to clean it all up. But these days, I just try and stay away from all that, stay away from the snack drawer. And that's how I do it.
So there's been some really interesting, dynamic bouts in top heavyweight division in recent years. A real style contrast between you and Wilder.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people saying that Fury got his tactics wrong. Fury got his tactics wrong against LIzzy. I'm wondering, when you fight Whyte, what do you think the best approach for him will be? Obviously, you've said you're going to be comfortable, but what do you think he needs to do?
He just needs to knock me out. Pretty easy. Get stuck in, fire a big right hand and left hooks, and hope one lands and KOs me. Because other than that, he's in trouble.
He needs to get it done early.
Just get stuck in, put your best foot forward and windmill away till one plans and then try and keep me on that canvas, which has been proved to be hard over the years. Like I always said, bring your 6-inch nails and nail me to that canvas, because other than that, I'm getting up and I'm coming for your ass.
Tyson, one of the things that emerged in the talks that you were potentially going to fight Alexander Usyk next for the undisputed title was the rival promoter Eddie Hearn saying, oh, if Tyson fought Usyk and beat him, if Joshua had stepped aside, oh, do we trust Tyson to stay in the game at that point, being undisputed champion? Would you, if that had happened, have wanted to fight Anthony Joshua here in the UK?
Let's just say that didn't happen because one of the parties come back on the final day and said I wanted X amount of millions more, or else I'm not doing it. And then Big T said, stick the X amount of millions up your rear end, and there's no deal. So yeah, it was very complicated and very stressful for me to deal with these idiots. Like I say, I'm not a businessman, and all the business stuff drives me mad. Because I like to just get things done, sign a contract and get on with it. I don't like to go back and forward. I don't like all the snaky behaviour. They're like rattlesnakes in the grass. They say one thing, mean another. And I just don't like that. What you see on the tin is what you get with me. I'm like a dog, you know. If I'm barking at you and growling, I'm probably going to bite you. But if I'm waggling my tail, then you know I'm not. So, and these are like reptiles, for sure. You never know what's going to happen with them.
Do you feel that you will fight for the undisputed title this year then at some point?
Do you know what, as I always say, this is heavyweight boxing, and I've got Dillian Whyte to take care of on whenever it happens. Nearly said the date. Anyway, yeah.
Go on,
I've got
go
a deal
on.
with him. And you know, you never can count your chickens before they hatch, because in this game anything can happen, as we've seen many, many times before. And you know, I'm looking forward to fighting Dillian. I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I'm not looking to anybody else. You know, I've had a lot of people coming to me, even in the last couple of months, and they're trying to make deals all over the world for me with fights, and I'm just not interested. I'm fighting Dillian Whyte next, providing he signs the contract, and he's got until the February the 21st to sign it. And if he doesn't, he'll be ridiculed and called a coward forever after his antics. And then we will see what happens from there. You know, nothing's promised. We're not even promised to wake up tomorrow. So, cherish everything.
As Steve mentioned earlier, you haven't fought here since 2018. Obviously, you're not giving away the date and the place, but we're assuming it's in the UK at the moment.
It's definitely going to be in the UK for sure.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
There's no shame about it.
And what's the date then?
I'm not telling you.
Okay. How much, obviously, your life's changed a lot since 2018, and you have become a people's champion in many ways. Is it gratifying to come home and fight, and have a fight at home now?
For sure, yeah. I've been away a long time. I've been doing my thing over in America, cracking America and beating the champions and all that. And there has to be a time where you return home for the hero's welcome. And I'm definitely overdue a hero's welcome. I just think it's going to be a fantastic event to put on here, and you know, give the fans, all the fans that supported me from the comeback, let's just say, to today, their reward to come and watch it live at an event or whatever. You know, because not everyone can travel to the States to watch fights, and not everybody has got the ability to stay up till all hours in the morning because they got work in the morning or young kids or whatever. So I think it's very important that I give the fans what they want, a fight back home, and who better to do it against than a man who's had a lot to say, a man who's got a very high world ranking, a man who's absolutely mandatory for my WBC title, and a man who kept telling everybody that I was afraid of him and that I'd never fight him. And all of a sudden, the fight's on his toes, and guess what? He won't sign the contract. So I'm not too sure what's going on. I think they're trying to play mind games, but you're messing with the king of mind games. So I might just actually switch this all around on them and make them feel bad for doing it. But you know, you never can tell what they're going to do, and I can't say that I'm interested in what they're going to do. To be fair, they're either going to sign it or they're not. Pretty irrelevant to me. If it's not Dillian Whyte, then I fight somebody else and whatever.
And on the homecoming, just finally, one of the big things, I had the privilege of being on stage a couple of times on your homecoming tour in Manchester and London. And, you know, my own straw poll is that many people, just outside the boxing now, come and see you because of your openness about mental health and your weight loss, 10 stone, and the fact that, you know, you're a big, rough, tough traveller who's the heavyweight champion of the world, and yet you're open about mental health. And do you feel that that's changed the way people see you in the UK as well?
I feel like everybody can suffer with mental health somewhere through their life, and anybody can relate to the struggle because it's very real and very relevant. Some of the people that I've met over the years, and people who you'd never expect to have mental health problems, who's come over and was open with me. I knew, like back in 2018 when I come out with it all, that it was going to help a lot of people. And I thought that my story and my comeback story, even from that point when I was 28 stone and I'd been out of the ring for 3 years, I almost knew for certain that that would inspire a lot of people to get well again and lose weight or get back mentally well. And it wasn't like it was just like all edited stuff and it was all media work stuff. It was just me on my phone and it was just being real with people. And I think for the first time ever that someone had ever come out on that level, like world heavyweight champion, and spoke openly about it and didn't hold anything back. And I revealed all in my book, and I put a lot of time and work in. It took me 3 years to do that first book, and I poured my heart into it. I never let any secrets sell back, let it all out in there. And it's been an amazing story, and I think that it's bigger than boxing. Boxing's a sport that people watch to get entertained on a Saturday night or a Friday night. But the mental health struggle, they take it home with them. They got to live with that. And I think that's my calling card, which is bigger than the fight game. And it has been. Even me dad, like, he was very like, he didn't understand it all or anything. And when he comes to these shows and he sees grown men and women in tears, crying about their problems, it's like, I didn't know that this many people were struggling with it. We're only seeing like maybe 10,000 people on a tour in total, and how many of that? So, you know, we've got 67 million people in this country, so around the world there's 7 billion. So it's frightening to imagine the people out there that's suffering with mental health in silence and they don't know who to turn to. Like me, like I was in a lonely, dark place forever. I didn't know who to turn to, didn't know where to go. I didn't have anyone with any education who I knew on the matter. And it was almost the fact of like, who was I going to tell? Who was I going to speak to about it? Who wasn't going to laugh at me? Who wasn't going to think I was a pathetic, weak person?
Was there an element?
Stigma in my mind.
Yeah, was there an element of shame and embarrassment when you first came out with it?
For sure, but I'd gone to the point of I didn't really care anymore what people thought, and I just thought that if I'm feeling like this, and at that time I was a man who had everything the world had to offer. I had money, fame, glory, achievements, a family, but I still felt like dying on a daily basis, and I didn't know why. So I thought, if I'm feeling like that, then there's got to be lots of other people who feel like that as well. And that's when I decided that I was going to do this open relationship with the world into the personal life of Tyson Fury, aka the Gypsy King. And here we are today. It was a fantastic journey just to get from being totally unwell, thinking you're going to end up in a padded room somewhere, to be back training, back losing weight. And I never ever thought that I'd box again. I thought that boxing was totally finished. And I only ever started training again to get the weight off, and then I got better and better and better and better until that I've learned to maintain and manage the problems on a daily basis. Because I always say this, but I don't believe that mental health ever goes away fully. You can check out any time you want, but you can never leave. Hotel California, Eagles, and I think that's the best saying ever for mental health, because there's always going to be a moment when you slip back into the darkness. But there's a lot of help out there these days. A lot of help and a lot of it's open for people to go out there and reach out for help and not feel embarrassed and not feel ashamed, because there's many, many other people in that same boat, all rowing the same boat, in the same direction. But I can promise one thing, and here's the good news. It will get better. Even if you're in total darkness every day, the light is out there waiting for you. Rainbows and sunshine are around the corner, if only you just reach out and get the help. Can I say any more? And I'm not trying to sell this to you, I'm just speaking from my heart.
The real Furocity.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't think if we were